Heads up, everyone. Um, I wanted to share a story with you that I wrote. And last night at Kwanzaa, I read the story. I have it for sale on lulu.com. It's a folk tale, but it's just sitting there. And I think the message in the folk tale is more important. So I'm just going to read it to you. And if you want a printed version, you can go to lulu.com, Pamela Hamilton, The Happiness Tree. So let me go ahead and share this with you. I'm really proud of it. I want to tell you how I came about the story. One morning I was just getting out, just waking up, and I was having trouble getting out of bed. And so all of a sudden this story just came to me. So I grabbed a pad of paper and I just started writing it down. Then later on that day, I found out that a really good friend of mine had made his transition. So I felt that because the story was I was really dictating. It was just laid out in my head and I was just writing it down. So I kind of felt like my friend left me this story as a goodbye gift. And I hope you enjoy it and you can consider it a gift from me as Zawadi for the end of Kwanzaa 2010. Here it goes. The Happiness Tree by Pamela Hamilton. Once upon a time, there was a very special mango tree in the village of Mobali. Anyone who ate from the tree would always be happy. Mothers loved to take their children to the tree every morning and give them mangoes. "Eat, my children, eat," the mothers would say. "I want to see you play and hear you laugh. Laugh loudly so that I will know that you are happy." The mango tree was very large and very old. It was so old that no one could remember when it was a sapling, not even Griot, and he held the memories of 800 years. The tree had always been there. It was the job of the men to protect the tree and to make sure that it stayed happy, for if the tree was happy, its juicy, sweet fruit would keep the village happy. In the evenings after work, the men would gather under the tree. They would drink a special mango punch made for them by their wives. They would tell one another stories to make each other laugh as they played Nengele, a math game which they played with lightning speed. The children sat at the feet of their fathers on the ground to practice the game. But the laughter of their fathers was so great that the children kept making mistakes. When they begged their fathers to laugh more quietly, their fathers laughed even louder. "Don't worry, my children," the fathers would say. "It is the laughter that gives us our speed. Keep practicing. You too will learn how to laugh while you play." When the mothers would call their families home for the night, the fathers would pour the last of their punch out at the base of the tree and say, "Thank you, O noble tree, for giving us so much happiness." One morning, while the mothers were watching their children play and listening to their laughter, strange men with strange weapons surrounded the tree. "We will have the wood from this tree," they yelled. The children ran to their mothers crying. The mothers screamed. The fathers left their work and ran to the tree, but the strange men fired their weapons, making extraordinarily loud noises. Some of the fathers died that day. The people in the village were forced to sit on the ground and watch while the tree was chopped down. For 3 days and nights, the strangers made the men of the village chop down the mango tree and carry the wood away. The mothers wailed and moaned, and the children cried. When all of the wood was gone, the strangers looked at the people of the village. "Why do you look so sad?" they asked. "There are other trees." The strangers did not wait for an answer. They laughed and they left. The empty space where the mango tree had stood was unbearable. The women turned their backs on the men. "You did not try hard enough to save the tree," they said. The men began to fight one another. They blamed each other for helping to destroy the tree. The children, not knowing what to do, realized that they were hungry. There were mangoes on the ground. The children began to eat. Mangoes were all around the stump of the tree. The stump was very wide and very flat. The children began to play and run on the stump. The mothers yelled at the children. The fathers tried to beat them. "Have you no respect?" yelled the fathers. "Our happiness is gone." The fathers began to cry. Griot moved to the center of the stump. He stood and looked at the people of the village. He looked down at the children. They had seeds in their hands. "Children," Griot said, "bring your seeds and place them at my feet. The rest of you," he cried to the people, "eat a mango and bring your seeds." The fathers were still very angry. "We must go after those strangers and kill them for what they have taken from us." "Will this bring back your tree?" the griot asked. "Will this restore your happiness?" "We do not wish to hear your talk, old man," the father said. "We will go after those men and we will make them pay." "You have gathered here under this tree all of your life, as did your fathers before you," Griot said. "Have you forgotten everything? Have you learned nothing?" Griot picked up a seed. "From one seed comes many," he said. A silence fell. A gentle breeze flowed through the village. A young child laughed. A mother picked her daughter up. A son picked up a mango and gave it to his father. The father bit into the fruit, and the juice, still sweet, ran down his cheek. The father scooped up his son and held him high. "From one comes many," he yelled. The mothers began to sing. The fathers joined in, each grabbing a child and a mango. They carried their happiness to the stump of the tree, knowing that they could make it grow again. That was The Happiness Tree by Pamela Hamilton. You can buy a printed copy at lulu.com for $5. I thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video and play it so that you can always have this story, whether you buy it or not. Ashe.